Hello again everybody on YouTube. This is David again, back with another video. Today I'm talking about my wife's gonna kill me, another flashlight. Today we have the EC60 by Acebeam, and what we're really talking about is the modified version of the EC60, the EC60VN. And this is been modded, it's been reworked, bumped up in output, so it's just a sort of hot rod version of the Acebeam EC60. So what class of flashlight does the EC60 fall into? And I would have to say it's in its essence a general purpose type flashlight, all but 26650 size battery body. Here we have general purpose 18650, pocketable light, just tried and true form factor. This here is the Olight, what is it, S30, and then we have, Nitecore makes another version, and then there's this one by Olight, and it's just a general purpose light. What else could you call it? I mean, look at it, and no big head, no big, thrower form factor. So for a while now, most of these lights have been getting a maximum of 1100 to possibly 1200 lumens in this form factor via the XPL, XML2 emitters. And recently Korea has put out the XHP50, XHP70 lineup of emitters, which get to 2000 to 3000 lumens. I don't think I've seen any of these lights that have come out in the past few months with the XHP50, XHP70 that have gotten beyond 350 meters maximum for throw. Now the XPL emitter could do that, get maybe like 450 meters of throw out of that, but then again we're talking about 1100 lumens only in a form factor like this. So with this light getting 600 meters of throw with 2000 lumens is just something that's never ever been released before. There's no other light to really compare this light to at this time. Anything, you might say, well, what about dedicated throwers? Well, look at it. It's like this is a different light, and with dedicated throwers, we're talking. Well, hey, they beat 600 meters, right? Well, yeah, sure they do, but the thing is with dedicated throwers is you got a beam that's a very narrow, bright, hot spot, pencil line beam that can get out, far, but the surrounding spill area is very dim in comparison to the hot spot. They're not like relational. It's like you got your hot spot, and then you got barely some spill. It's not like kind of one formation. It's just like the hot spot and a little bit of something else kind of thing. Whereas with this, it's like a solid beam. It's like the hot spot integrates with the spill to make an illuminated area with a bright hot spot as a feature of the entire beam, rather than just a hot spot with something like this. Well, you do get some spill, and it is usable to an extent, but the spill is so dim on this that when it travels out only a short range, it's not really having too much effect left, and you get sort of the hot spot and then just the residual of the hot spot around it. So when you're looking for things way out in the distance, you have to scan around a long time with that little area. You're not illuminating a big area, you're illuminating a narrow area, as opposed to with this, if you're looking for a mid-range application, this is unsurpassable, I think, because you're lighting up a huge area. The hot spot's lighting up, can go even further, and the area around it is being lit up as well, so you're not just like tunneled into a narrow area. You're looking up a fairly good, wide margin of area. I guess you might ask then, why even buy a dedicated thrower? Well, there's still big dedicated throwers can get out 1500 meters, some of them, and there's still application, of course, for a lot of these lights to use that. This won't do that, and if you need to look over vast ranges of area and spot things, then that's going to work. Another thing, the big lights, they just look super cool. What can you say? The dedicated thrower lights, they look pretty sick. But this light, there's nothing really to compare to it. It's in a general purpose style, single cell single lithium cell form factor, you know, straight line, uniform body. It's got rechargeable, which works really well. It works with multiple 26650 cells. You don't have to use Acebeam includes a cell with this one, but you can use, you know, I recommend the Keep Power ones, or you get about 95% of the Keep Power with this Lido Kala that's available. So hunt some of these down. They're good too, 5,000 milliamps. So yeah, this is like a special light. And now we have the EC60VN that has come out, which is VN Nguyen. He's modifies flashlights for a living, and has a website, skylumen.com. And so I picked one up from him. So now I have one of each. And I've got the Acebeam EC60 and the EC60 and the EC60VN. And with the VN version, you know, it's just bumped up. I did testing, and I got approximately an extra 2,000 lumens, or I'm sorry, not 2,000, 200. So as opposed to say 1,900, I think I tested 1,900 stock for my setup. You know, these things kind of vary, but for me, I got 1,900 stock, 2,100 for lumens for the VN EC60VN, and then with lux, I got, I think, 95K lux for the VN, and then I got 78K lux with the EC60 stock. So a good. I mean, I bought a few lights from skylumen.com now, and I've had a good experience with them. They get hot a little bit quicker. This one, you can tell it gets hot a tiny bit quicker, but there's not a huge difference in terms of heat. It hasn't been, you know, bumped up that much as far as current goes. So both of these lights get hot fairly quickly. If you're in something where it's for police application, I think this is excellent for police application. For, you know, I mean, it cuts through the darkness like no other light for that application. But the thing of it is, it gets hot rather quickly, so you might want to use it only for like as needed, and have your other light for sort of like your general what you would use, or just use it on medium and then have it, you know, the interface is that it has mode memory, so you can have it come on in medium, and then it always will double click to turbo. So if you need it, you can double click to turbo. But the thing of this light, if you use it on turbo for a couple minutes, it'll get pretty hot. So I think you would want to have a backup light in that instance if you need to have some kind of light on you at all times. But it is good as far as, you know, straight up application. It really cuts through the darkness well. You know, no other light in this form factor can compare with what this one can do. None at this time. So I like the light. I think I talked about the numbers I got off the light. Vin's numbers came up. The lux was fairly the same, but he came out with lower for the lumens. When he did his testing, I think he had like 1,600 lumens, 1,700 lumens, something like that, where I was like 19 and 21. But the spread was about the same. I think he had 200 lumens difference, and so that kind of stayed the same. So relative speaking, you'll get 200 lumens extra with the VN version. So I'm going to take these ones outside, and then I'm just going to go ahead and bring some of these along with. And on the other video that I did of the stock Acebeam EC60, I compared with all of these lights. And so I want to do the same thing, except this time I'm going to compare these two together. The stock, I got the Cool White stock, and then I bought the Neutral White, the Neutral White EC60VN. So the modded version is the Neutral White version, and it's a little bit warmer. And I'm going to compare these two together, and then I'm going to compare the VN, the EC60VN, with these lights that I already compared against this one. So with the thrower lights, when you see that hot spot, it's a little unfair because you see that hot spot, but when you look just immediately, not at the ground, but immediately left and right of the hot spot, you'll see how dark it actually is with these thrower lights, and not even so much with the EC60VN. And then the Manker, I wanted to say a little quick thing about the Manker, because people have been asking about the Manker, and if you look at the weight of the Manker, Okay, I'm looking at 14 ounces with the battery installed, and this one has the battery installed too, 26650 battery, and 7.5 ounces versus 14 ounces. So it's literally double the weight. And every time I pick this thing up, I'm like, ugh, you know, like, ugh. It's like, it's pretty heavy. It's like a little chunk of steel or something. And another thing, I've been having trouble with the interface on this Manker light. It's been clicking through to the highest mode, and then see, it's in the highest mode, and then it won't click like it's in the highest. Oh, see, it did that weird thing. Like I clicked it, and then it takes a while, and it goes to the low mode, and sometimes it takes like about 5 seconds. It just sits there, and then it finally switches over, and then it did, and you saw it just there. I don't know why it does that. See, I clicked it, and then there it goes just now. So I don't know, it's weird. I've been having trouble, and then I have another little Manker light that I was having trouble with the clicky on the side too. Not that I don't like Manker, but I do trust the workmanship and you know, the long-term the lifespan of the Acebeam products more than with the Manker. But Manker is a good budget light to get. I classify it with budget lights because it is a budget light, and you know, there's a lot of things you can point out about this light that don't scale up with most of the name brand lights, but it's definitely a good budget company. So anyways, I highly recommend mostly the Acebeam EC60VN. You can get the EC60VN modified after Vin's work for approximately the same price that you can get the stock light for. So you can get it from him with warranty from his website, skylumen.com. Brighter light for the same price. Or not the same price, it's about 15 more. I think it's like 15 more than what if you were to buy it from any of the retailers right now. So it's a good deal. I mean, it's really a good deal. And this guy's reputable. He's known in the flashlight forums. And I was going to shout out to another forum member, but I forgot about that. So sorry about that. That's going to conclude my blabbering, and I'm going to go outside and take a look and do that comparison I was talking about. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. I'll be back with more videos. Thank you. There was a loud maintenance truck where I was at, caused me to do voiceover. So here it is, the EC60VN Neutral White, brilliant standard sort of beam profile, only more and much more throw. And the stock EC60 Cool White. And you can pretty much tell the EC60VN is brighter in this video, but like everything video, you get a much better idea when physically present. It was quite easy for me to tell the difference. The trees in the center were clearly more brightly lit with the EC60VN Neutral White. And then now we have the Olight R50 Seeker stock from Olight. Great big huge spill area with the R50 Seeker. So I'm kneeling down while I'm recording in order to get under the trees and show off the throw out to the other trees. So ordinarily you wouldn't see, you would see the outline of the R50 Seeker in front of your feet, as it would be higher up, rather than having it fill out the whole area before your eyes like that. The whole frame is pretty much full. And then I have the Crallant V6 CS. I think it's a XML2 thrower, kind of a thrower, you know, light, an older light. This is that Manker, so much more of a dedicated thrower. You can look to the directly left and right of the center hotspot, and with this light you can see you can see if something's moving between the hotspot and where it's dark all the way to the far right. Much better than with the Manker, left and right, and it's kind of pitch black. Much prefer the tint on the EC60VN to the Manker. The Manker is one of my least favorites of these for tint, but it's a decent thrower. And I think this is the next one is the Nitecore EC4S, and this is again one of those kind of XHP50, XHP70 lights that don't get out very far, and you can see the limitations pretty clearly in this example. And this is the M23 Javelot, the sort of single 18650 pocket thrower. And here's where it gets unfair in the throw category. We got the Acebeam T20, and again, looking directly left and right from the hotspot, you can see just how dark it is around that center hotspot, that brilliant hotspot. Over here, you can see pretty much all the way to the edge. If something were there moving, you could pretty much see it. And definitely when I was there, I could see that was the case. So much darker in those areas around outside of the hotspot. But the hotspot itself, if you need that much throw, then the T20 is something that can give it to you. And lastly, I have the Olight M3X UT Javelot. And this will conclude my video, you guys. Thanks for watching. Please give a big thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And I'll have more, better, updated content as I work on these things, my projects. So please subscribe if you're interested in any of that. And thanks again. Bye.